Question number 2 comes from Jeremy. Jeremy wants to know, how much do you think this break hurts or helps teams pushing for playoffs if it starts back up in June as anticipated?
I personally think it hurts a lot, especially if you're a team that had some momentum going into the last 17 games of the season. Some teams to note that were on a couple winning streaks there were the Nets, the Magic, the Thunder, the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies lost their last game, but they're starting to build some momentum going into the playoff push. And then you have the Blazers, who are trying to climb their way back into contention for the 8th spot, and then you have the Pelicans, of course, who if they kept that team going, or they kept the season going, and like you mentioned before, Zion Williams gets more integrated in that system, then I think they were going to make a push for that as well.
Definitely. And you started with hurt. How I looked at this, I looked at who does this hurt, who does this help. Who does it hurt? I say the older teams. The teams like the Lakers, who have, their main core guys, LeBron James, right? 35 years old. He's been there, done that. He's on a rhythm with his game. And coming around this time, his body is trained to start amping it up during April, during May, when the finals come around in June. He starts amping up his workout, and his body's going to be all out of sorts if the league just starts back up in June. Another old team, OKC, they have Chris Paul, right? They've been overachieving the whole year. Very impressive what they've been doing with Shea Kid Alexandris. Did I say that correctly?
Shai Gilgeous Alexander.
Yeah, Alexander. He's been having a stellar year. They got him from the Clippers as well. And they've just been leading this team. And if the game's close, whoever's matched up with them is going to have a hard time. But I have to say again, older guys, Chris Paul in his late 30s as well, he's going to be out of sorts too. If you just start the league back up, they're going to be thrown off. And I even threw in the Clippers, another team that has older players, guys who need a rhythm going in there, like a Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, who both been injured. And some people would say rest is good for them, but I say, they need rhythm. They need to play to get into their game. What's your thoughts on that? Older teams.
Well, I think those guys that are like those older guys that you talk about, LeBron James, Chris Paul, they're in double digits into their seasons, like they're in year 17, 18, 19, whatever double digit season they're into already in their careers. They know how to take care of their bodies at this point, and I think they do get a much deserved rest. I mean, it was a lot longer than anticipated, but these guys are millionaires. They have $1 million mansions. They probably have basketball courts in their gym, or at least they have somebody on staff that works out with them. One of their someone in their camp that is either working them out every morning, or they're doing something basketball related. Now, I can't say that there's nothing nothing gets you better in shape than an actual basketball game and all that experience and everything like that. But these guys are pros. I think they know how to take care of themselves, and I think this helps them a lot more than it does hurt them.
Another thing that this break can hurt, Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz are sitting 4th or 5th in the West, and they have the Rudy Gobert thing, getting the COVID-19 and then touching all the mics. There's been stories that Donovan Mitchell is unhappy with Gobert, and not to mention the lineup struggles they were having as well. Who starts? Joe Ingles, Conley. They report one day this guy's starting. They report another day that this guy's starting. It just seems like they are all out of sorts. They recently traded for Jordan Clarkson, who started playing relevant minutes for them and started, playing like a Lou Williams or a Jamal Crawford coming off the bench, getting 20. I think there's a lot of question marks for that Jazz team. I like what they have. Rudy Gobert's been a force on defense, but it just seems like there's some chaos, some things that we don't know going on with them as well. And you pointed this out as well. You said it hurts a lot of those teams pushing for the playoffs. Let's say they just start the playoffs right away in June when they come back. Teams that are out, Blazers, Pelicans, Kings, Spurs, Suns, and the Wizards for the East. Those 5 West teams I mentioned, though, they're only 3 games back, 4 games back. That's going to be difficult going forward with those teams, and they're going to be losing a lot of money if they could have made the playoffs. Andrew, who does this help? Coming back in June, who does it help?
I think it helps a lot of the. I think it helps all the bottom feeder teams. You know, your Bulls, your Suns, your whoever else is at the bottom that I didn't get a chance. I got to look at it again, but it helps teams that are vying for the lottery. I mean, they're able to blow up their teams already, fire whoever they need to fire as far as executive wise or coaching wise, change up staff, blow up the roster. They're able to just start their next season now. I use the Bulls as an example when they've already fired both Gar Forman and have moved John Paxson to another role, and they've already hired Arturas from the Nuggets, and they're looking to do some more things in the next couple weeks here.
You know what? I also wrote that down. I said teams that are in need of, that have had an identity crisis, or teams that need time for self-reflection, or, discovering what their identity is. I wrote down the Chicago Bulls. I said the Bulls, like you said, they brought in Arturas. They said, okay, what are we? You build us. They got rid of Gar Pax, right, out of the office. Another team that needs some self-reflection, the Hawks. They have Young. They have John Collins, who got in trouble with steroid use. They brought in Clint Capella. What are they? What are they going to do forward? The Cavs, another team who brought in 2 bigs to their team and really have 4 big guys playing at a time. They have Larry Nance Jr., they have Andre Drummond, they have Kevin Love, they have Tristan Thompson. What are you, and what are you planning forward? I think this gives them a time to take a breath, discover who they are. And a West team. What are the Rockets doing, right? Like, you have Russell Westbrook, you have James Harden. And the last month and a half, this is James Harden team, but the last month and a half, it started to look like more Russell Westbrook's team. Like, I don't know who's running the show there. I don't know what their plan is moving forward. It seemed their small ball lineup, once they got rid of Capella, turned more into a Russell Westbrook. Andrew, anything else that for teams that it helps?
I'll definitely talk about that. Well, I'll talk about the Rockets later in our mailbag session. Anything that help? I mean, as far as just teams are able to hit the reset button now, do things for the organization, and figure out what they're going to do as far as what players are going to acquire, coaches, or anybody they're going to get in the draft.
The number one team I think this benefits, the Golden State Warriors.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green all took a break this year, and now they're even getting a extended break, right? And also, they get a good draft pick. They get to bring in a young guy. And this whole year has just been a test run to see who's going to stay with the team going into next year. They had nothing to gain. They had nothing to lose. They did have something to gain. Excuse me. They only had something to gain. And it's not like they're contending for a playoff spot. They just get to put their feet up and relax. I had something else to add to Jeremy's question. He said, who does this hurt? Who does this help? I wanted a team. I put down 3 teams where I didn't really know if they were going to hurt or if this was going to help them. And see if you
What
could
are those 3
point.
Teams?
I'm going to say the teams. I want you to tell me why I chose these teams. Okay.
All right.
The first one, the 76ers. Why do you think you think it hurts? Why do you think it hurts them?
They have to. They got to be able to figure out who they are as well.
Yeah, right. I didn't know if Joel Embiid's going to come back in shape or not. Or if he's going to come back out of shape, and who's he going to be? What are they, right? Like, identity crisis. But at the same time, does Joel Embiid come back in shape? Is he staying off his legs? Is he going to be injury prone? So I agree with you. I just don't know.
Right.
Another team I said is a mystery. And I think you said this is a team that's going to have more help. The Nets. They just fired their coach, I believe, Kenny Atkins. And does Kevin Durant come back? Is he going to be healthy? Does Kyrie? I believe Kyrie's still hurt, but like players are indifferent about who they are. They're kind of having an identity crisis, but they're also doing what the Bulls are doing, and they're making moves to their front office and coaching. So, I mean, Andrew, would you said the Nets would help? This would help them?
I didn't say the Nets would help them, but I think this hurts them, if anything, because, again, the players don't know what they're doing. The Kyrie is an enigma 24/7. Kevin Durant, does he come back? Should he come back? He got diagnosed with COVID as well. Might be a risk for him anyways. I know he's itching to play, but with 17 games left in the season, and I'm not sure what place they are in the East, but I say they just fired Kenny Atkins, the guy they've been sticking with for so many years to, build their franchise and institute a culture.
And they said that was a mutual agreement. They said, I think he realized, like, these players aren't going to listen to me. I don't want to coach them. And they were like, hey, we get it. We'll let you go.
And a lot of that could be attributed to Kyrie. He does have an issue with coaches in the past. But again, this is all speculation at this point. But there is some things that sort of back that up.
The last team I wrote for being a mystery, the Nuggets. Is the Joker going to come back in shape, or is he going to get fat again? I'm not trying to fat shame anyone, but he came into the first 20 games of this season about 20 pounds overweight. Is he working out right now? Is he not working out? I just don't know, Andrew.
I'm not sure if he's one of those. I'm not sure if he's one of those guys that puts his workouts on Instagram. So we really don't know.